Hi, I'm Rich from the Early Years Toolkit, and today we're looking at how we can raise problem solvers and resilience's role in doing that. Now, we've compiled loads of research and scientific advice, and we've put it all into 5 simple steps for you to be able to give your child the tools to face any of life's challenges. Now, before we get really stuck in, if you find any of these helpful at all, then do let us know by hitting like down here. And if you want to be the first to see any of our future videos, then hit subscribe. Anyway, let's have a look at why we should be promoting problem-solving skills in our early years children and exactly how we go about doing it. What's that? How does resilience build problem-solving skills? Well, that's the question on everybody's lips right now. But to answer it, we need to first look at exactly what's happening when we're problem-solving. So when we're problem-solving, we have a problem. But we don't have an immediate answer. But what we do is we work through possible solutions until we get to the right one. So for your 3 or 4-year-old who's doing their zip for the first time and trying to get the thing in the thing, but can't do it straight away, so tries different ways, different grips, till they can eventually pull the zip up to the top. Well, that's exactly what resilience is. Now, resilience has become a bit of a buzzword because it's super important when it comes to mental health and well-being, but it's basically a child's ability to recover quickly from difficulties. So difficulties is obviously a bit of an ambiguous term there, and it can mean, you know, your ability to overcome massive trauma. But in the context of our brilliantly worded zip analogy, a child with a less resilient mindset might... Oh, I hate coats anyway. But the more resilient child will persevere and get the zip to the top. And that's exactly why we need to develop and promote problem-solving skills. Life's challenges are probably going to get a bit tougher than doing a zip-up. And it's never too early to try and promote these skills. Research has shown that children in their first year of life are showing, you know, early problem-solving abilities. And while genetics plays a part in how resilient somebody is, resilience is also something that can be learned. So as that perfectly crafted segue allows, let's get to our 5 simple steps on how you can build resilience and encourage problem-solving skills. Number 1 is build executive functioning. Should have thought of a catchier title. So executive functioning is really important. It's what's happening at the front of your brain in the prefrontal cortex, and it's responsible for really complex functions like decision-making, personality expression. And it's through the strengthening and building of this part of the brain that children develop the skills to be able to manage their feelings and behaviours and develop coping strategies. Proven ways to develop this part of the brain and strengthen it are to play memory games. So, I mean, you can get creative with this, but an example would be lay a certain number of items out on the table. Your child comes and has a look, soaks it all in, what ones are there. When they look away, you remove an item. When they look back, they tell you which one has, I don't need to explain it. Another is exercise. Now, there's been loads of research which has shown that exercise is directly linked to the development and strengthening of the prefrontal cortex. So exercise is essential. And another really good way to develop this part of the brain is to play board games. Now, what happens when we play board games? We're turn-taking, we're learning delayed gratification, we're planning, we're remembering. All of these are perfect ways to develop and build this part of the brain. Number 2 is don't rush to their rescue. Now, we're not saying if they're about to fall from a great height, just leave them because they'll bounce. But if it's something they can handle on their own, then let them do it. Because leaving them to dust themselves off after a little fall, or leaving them to finish that puzzle that they are struggling with but you know, can complete. All of this is developing their prefrontal cortex and is building the connections in their brain that will be telling them that, you know, things are okay when you face a challenge. Number 3 is nurture a growth mindset. Now, we spoke a bit about nurturing a growth mindset in our previous video, which you can find here. But nurturing a growth mindset is essentially someone's ability to see a failure or a challenge as a growing opportunity and as a learning opportunity. And the psychologist Carol Dweck, who coined this term, did some really interesting research with some primary school children. She gave all of the children puzzles that she knew they could complete, and upon completion, she told half of them that they must have been really clever to be able to complete that puzzle. And she told the other half that they must have worked really hard to complete the puzzle. Now, the children who were told they worked really hard to complete the puzzle chose a more challenging puzzle in the next round where they were free to choose their own. And those that were told they were really clever, the majority chose an easier puzzle than they had done in the previous round. Number 4 is celebrate mistakes. Just wait for the confetti to settle. Now, everyone, young and old, has made mistakes in the past and is likely to make many more in the future. But creating an environment where any failure or mistake is met with negative language or consequences means the likelihood is your child is not really going to want to face anything they think they might fail at in future. So to go back to our now overused zip analogy, if your child you can see is getting really frustrated and not having much luck at all getting the zip done up, then a really good thing you could say would be, I can see you're getting really frustrated doing that. You know, I tried to do it that way and failed too. Should we try it a different way? In that really simple sentence, you've done 3 really great things. You've acknowledged their feelings by saying, I can see you look frustrated. You've told them that adults make mistakes too, because you tried it that way and failed as well. And you've told them that there are solutions, that if you keep working through it, there are other ways that this can be managed. So like the growth mindset, praising the effort made rather than the result is teaching your child that failure is just a stumbling block. And number 5 is to model resilience. Now, arguably, this is the most effective way to build resilience in your child, because we know all too well how easy it is for them to imitate our behaviours and language. Listen. So it's really important that we model appropriate behaviour and appropriate language. Now, a really good way to model resilience is to commentate on the times you're drawing on it. So if you're driving little Mickey to school and somebody cuts you up and every inch of your being wants to just scream profanities at them, at the driver, not a Mickey. And the way to model resilience here would be to take a deep breath, put on a fake smile and say, gosh, Mickey, I get so frustrated when people drive like that. They can cause accidents, can't they? So there we go. 5 simple steps to build resilience and to promote problem-solving skills.
The good news is, I've been promoted. So
if you did find any of these useful or helpful, then let us know by hitting like and subscribe. And if there's anything else you want us to talk about in future, then let us know in the comments section. Thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you again.